So
Yes.
now it is just
You just need
distributing the good.
provisions, the weapon, and
Ah,
crew, and any
Yeah.
additional supplies. All right. So I'm sorry. Who was going to the Seekers again? Braxon, I think you said. Leva, I think you said.
Yep.
Yes.
Anyone else?
Sadly, I don't have
Higgimus was
time
gonna
because
go.
I'm making arrows this
Okay,
whole
that's
time.
fine. That's fine. Then, in fact, those who are not going, go ahead and just put yourselves on mute for now. That way, you know. All right. So you arrive at the Seekers, and once you basically let them know that you want to do some research, they show you to their library. One thing that they do here at the building, and for those who have forgotten, that is right there.
Quick interrupt.
Yep.
Should we write a report about what we've seen at in the Underbral?
Yeah,
For them.
you could definitely do that.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. But when there, they show you to the library, and a young woman also comes in to talk about what you've seen and help you out, direct you as needed. She shows you to the sections that talks about monsters. There's it's not a very large section, but there's a number of books there, and she also says, "Could you please describe again for me what this creature was? I'll see if I can find a book that specifically covers it."
I'll
What
kind
was
of
it
describe
called?
what I saw. The tentacles, how big they were, the noises that I was making,
Okay.
the fact that it spawns more monsters.
That is interesting. All right. Let's see. She runs her fingers along the spines of some of the books. Maybe this one. She pulls one off and hands it to you. It's not actually a book about monsters per se. It's actually a book about the Dwarven Kingdom of Shanatar back on Faerun. It does go into a section on what it calls the Spawn Wars, and it was a time when the dwarves used these creatures to create whole armies of duplicate dwarves to fight their wars for them. But unfortunately, it led to serious problems. To a certain extent, you're not seeing too much in there about weaknesses and things like that. But there is one section that does describe the creatures. They are large and spherical. And you would guess that from the description, it's stuck down there and it can't actually escape. The tunnel is too small, unless, of course, there was another way out. The tunnel that you were in would have been too small. The ceiling was too low, at a guess, assuming that this information is correct. It does describe that it is a very intelligent creature, and it has some magical powers, although it leaves it a little bit vague on exactly what those are. But it is also very, very resistant to magical powers.
Oh. What a pity.
It describes it as having 6 tentacles as well, and countless eyeballs.
Countless eyeballs. Sounds like a beholder.
Six tentacles.
Doesn't look like there's much else that you're going to get out of this particular book, though.
Maybe we could go talk to. There's a beholder bartender in one of the inns. Which one is it?
That's the Laughing Beholder.
Yeah.
Oh man, you had to go mention this one, didn't you? I was hoping that one day you'd just pop in and I'd surprise you guys with the beholder behind the bar. You let the cat out of the bag now. But yes, if you guys want to head and talk to him, he might have some information that you could get. I'm looking for exactly where it is right now. Really? Only 51 gold?
Yep. After of all the stuff that was in the kitty, that's not including like the stuff we still need to sell, like the gyms and such.
Okay. That'll
was
probably cover it then.
That includes the dwarf too.
That includes the what?
The dwarf?
Burgos.
Urgoth.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Well, he would... did you distribute stuff before you... No, I'm not going to ask. It's fine. You can pay him some. Alright, so do you guys want to go to the Laughing Beholder?
Yes.
Alright, I am trying to find exactly where that is. It's down in the lower city, the low city. I remember that much. Ah, there it is. Okay. 144. There it is. All right. So Braxon mentions that he knows of a beholder bartender, which to everyone else except for Higgimus, that is like crazy talk. Higgimus is well aware of it, although what he thinks of it, whether he would say anything is up to him. But it's not a beholder bartender.
Oh, as long as he doesn't point his eyes at me, I'm fine.
Well, no, you would know that he's actually a friendly and gregarious fellow, very unlike normal beholders. There's a lot of speculation as to what he is, but some people think that he's a wizard who got polymorphed into beholder form. There's other speculation on what he is. A lot of it runs the gamut. Some think he was, blessed by the gods or something like that. Regardless, he's a friendly, gregarious beholder who actually, jokes with his patrons and stuff like that. So you're gonna head there. All right, you make your way into the tavern, and it's a cozy tavern, much nicer than some of the other ones down here in the lower city that you've been in. It's not terribly loud, not boisterous, and you see behind the bar a 6-foot sphere with a large central eye and 10 eye stalks up above. As you enter, he says loudly and joyfully, "Welcome to the Laughing Beholder. I am Large Luigi. Sit down, have a drink." And you see one of his eye stalks point at a table, and it seems to shake slightly, although you don't see anything moving it. But it's an empty table, and it seems that he's offering that one to you to sit down at.
Okay. Go over and sit down.
Yep.
He floats on over and says, "I am Large Luigi. What can I get you fine adventurers today? I can tell you're adventurers indeed."
We'd like to hear some information about beholders.
Ah, yes. Many people want to hear about my people. But first, please do. Drinks. What would you like?
Large tanker of ale would be good for me.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'll take some water if you have.
Okay. Braxon, are you there?
Yeah. I'll have a pint of cider.
Okay. He using one of his eye stalks, he causes some tankards of ale, water, and cider to float on over to your table. Drink up, drink up. You have some questions about beholders. I will certainly endeavor to answer whatever questions you have, provided you partake in our fine drinks here, of course.
Well, between me and you, Bral is under threat by a creature. It's in the Underbral, and we think that you might have some expertise that could help us defend Bral.
He floats a little bit closer to you at the mention of a threat from Brawl's Underdark. Yes, threats indeed. They're very, very dangerous and certainly bad for business. And none better for fine adventurers like you. What do you know about this creature?
Okay. Well, to cut a long story short, there were some recent murders. We took it upon ourselves to deal with the murders, and we found that they were based in the Underbral. So we went into the Underbral, and we've been attacking various hostile creatures down there. And then we bumped into this thing. I believe my friend Higgimus knows a bit more about it than me.
We think it might be a what some people call a deep spawn, but this is what I actually saw, and I'll describe what I saw.
Okay, you only saw one tentacle. It was long and thin with rubber texture to the skin, and a jawed mouth at the end with sharp teeth. No eyes on the jaw, so it wasn't like a creature's head, like a hydra's head or something like that. You describe that to him, and he seems to like roll around in the air a little bit, looking at the ceiling. Yes, I do believe Faerun had problems with them. Well, I believe they always had problems with them, but there was a problem many centuries ago. The dwarves had problems. But you found one under there, in the Underdark,
Yep.
What kind of information are you looking for? I don't know what I can provide you with, but I might be able to help you with something.
Well, we'd like to know about its defenses and how it can be attacked.
Well, let's see. I do believe I have heard that they favor using spells and their tentacles. I don't know too much about what spells they may have. I know that they are not wizards per se. But I do believe that they favor using weapons and also like to constrict enemies. Thinking about a little bit more about what they might have. I know that they are very difficult foes. Yes. The tentacles can be cut off. They can regenerate them, but not quickly. Might be the best approach if you get into a combat with one. I assume that you're planning to head back down there since you're asking about them?
Yes?
We are.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we wish to defend Brow, but we took a beating last time, so we want to see if we can find any way to make sure we don't get taken to take a beating from this creature.
Well, I do also know that they can ingest the flesh of creatures and create duplicates of them. So if you encountered creatures down there before, you may see them again.
Maybe this is what Racket was talking about when he said his other people didn't smell real. Was it?
Yeah.
It smelled fake.
Yeah.
Probably. Well, Are we about to meet another, what's his name, another colleague? Are they duplicates, exact duplicates of the original, or are they weaker in some ways?
From what I've heard, they are essentially duplicates. Physically, at least. I don't know about mentally. For example, if one were to eat a wizard, I don't know if the wizard would have all of the duplicate wizard would have all the same spells or even any spells at all. That I don't know. But physically, say, should it eat a giant, it would create a perfect duplicate of that giant physically. And they are loyal to it.
Our observation would support what you just said, because the duplicates we saw, they looked like the people we were traveling with at the time, but they behaved quite differently. They attacked without weapons. They just went into fistfights and didn't use their brains to think about what they were doing much.
That means if we meet any duplicates, we just have to kill them.
Yes.
We can't reason with them.
Well, that's not quite right, I should say. The duplicates are mentally the same and they are loyal, but they are their own people. I recall from the Spawn Wars that when these creatures were slain, their duplicates that they had created were able to integrate back into society reasonably well.
Okay.
Now, please do describe these other creatures that you mentioned.
I'll go through and talk about what was his name? Racket.
Yeah, Rebecca.
What do you remember about him?
He was a grayish skin. He was humanoid.
They were blind.
He talked. They talked a very specific language that none of us understood, but we could talk in Undercommon.
And you mentioned that they're
They
blind.
were blind.
Yeah.
They were blind.
Yeah.
Possibly former slaves to an illithid.
Do you remember any other physical descriptors of them?
They were very good with hearing, and with smell. They could sort of see what was going on around them with their ears and their noses.
Didn't he have claws, sort of? In...
No, I don't think so. That was a different one.
So Yeldin, did you show up for this?
No, I just thought I would. Yeah, good point. I shouldn't have said anything.
That's why I'm on mute.
Can I make a like an intelligence check or something like that to recall some details? Because I mean, like, it was only 3 days ago that the character saw him, but I personally can't remember.
Yes, but I'll put a penalty on it.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna roll terribly anyway, so I don't know.
They have a chameleon-like ability of almost fading into.
Yeah, Higgimus, in all the excitement, you cannot picture in your mind what they looked like one bit.
See, you told you had nothing to worry about.
Lava could try.
And now here is your critical hit attack roll, just gone forever, never getting that one.
Because that's
It's okay.
how it works. The critical fails, it doesn't matter, but the critical hit successes do.
Yeldin, you are not even
I guess
present. Yeldin, you are not even present.
Yeah, no, I was talking about his role.
So put yourself on mute. Let us role play it out.
Anyone else remember anything?
I don't remember much.
I don't know. There's so much swinging, hitting, and burning that I can't quite remember everything.
Large Luigi seems to roll about thinking a bit more.
They were humanoids. And Ragged was quite skilled. He could do leatherworking, which I was quite impressed with, seeing as he didn't see.
It wasn't good leatherworking.
No, but it was good enough for him.
They obviously didn't like the light.
Yeah, they didn't like loud noises either.
Yes, they were very sensitive to noises. And they live in tribes.
Yeah,
There's something tickling in the back of my head, but no, I think I'd need some more information than that.
They were using some mushrooms as guardians, and the mushrooms started making shrieking noises.
Those would be shriekers, yes.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, if you can't remember anything else about them.
Did you describe how they looked?
What we do know is that they were taken in by can I say by an illithid as slaves.
Yeah, it's not enough. He'd need more physical descriptions.
Yeah.
They're about our size, well, human size, as I remember. And
Yeah, I mean, if you can't remember the rest, you can't remember the rest. It's fine. I mean, it was some of you took serious trauma.
yeah,
and let's face it, to Higgimus, I mean, you guys all kind of look the same. Let's face it.
No, it doesn't. In different colors.
Well, you guys described the gray skin. All right. Well,
I just can't remember because I remember the description's been like a month ago.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Well, I mean, if you can't remember more, I mean, it's fine. Things happen, and sometimes you don't remember things. It's fine. Was there anything else that you wanted to ask him?
I remember a bit more of how they look like, but I'm not there to give them anything.
I remember some like one extra thing, but that's it.
No.
Should have come with us.
I mean, like I said, I mean, if you guys don't remember, you don't remember. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry too much
we
about
don't.
it.
Well, I'd feel a bit bad to mention that they had white eyes because Yeldin, no, not Yeldin. Yes, Yeldin wrote it down in the chat.
Well, it's also.
I did mention that he had white eyes.
Well, and you mentioned, I think multiple times that they were blind. So it's, I mean, it to a certain extent, it makes it's not a big leap to go from blindness to white eyes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I mean, it's fine. I mean, you've gotten information about the deep spawn.
Did they have like large brows too?
You could mention that.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. I think maybe they also had like wide brows too.
Mm-hmm. How was their hair?
I don't remember them having hair.
Big silence. Hair? Did they have hair? Well, they must have had, otherwise they wouldn't have.
No.
Did they have hair?
Could you maybe tell us why you ask about the hair? Because we don't remember anything special about it, but you must have a reason to ask about it.
Oh yes. Well, some of the creatures living in the Underdark, many of them have gray skin, in fact, but some of them are hairless. I'm aware of one creatures that they don't live in the Underdark per se. Tend to live underground in cities. Completely hairless. Although they're a little bit smaller than man size, and they have chameleon abilities. Those are called skulks, but if these creatures that you encountered had hair, then they certainly wouldn't be skulks.
I don't remember hair.
I mean, there's no, if you guys don't remember, you don't remember. You don't need to beat yourselves up about it trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you guys wanted to ask him?
I can't think of anything at the moment. Thanks very much for the drink and for your time.
Aye, yes. Anytime you want more conversation, I'm always here. And
Okay.
and if you know of a bard, we're always in the mood for good music here too.
Okay, if I see any bards, I'll send them your way.
All right. I'll finish the rest of my ale.
Okay. Yeah, it'll just be what is it? Let me take a look. There's a price in the front. I'm just going to use the same price for all the drinks, including water. It's not free like it is in the modern world. I should have looked this up earlier. Ale. 1 silver piece each.
Where would I find water skins?
They're in the player's handbook under the miscellaneous
Yeah,
equipment.
it's just
Might be under wine skin.
miscellaneous. Thank you, because I wanted to get some. And a 10-foot pole. I'm guessing that's under
keep in
miscellaneous.
mind that if you're carrying around a 10-foot pole, you're carrying around a 10-foot pole.
I'm gonna give it to Higgimus, because he's usually in the front anyways.
No, if he wants it. All right. You guys have any? I mean, you don't have any other questions for him. So, was there any other information that you wanted to try to get, or any other equipment that you wanted to purchase before going down there, or anything like that?
I'll ask Leva if she can see if these new weapons and shield thing here have magic on them.
Okay. So in the downtime in the 3 days, Leva, if you want to just go ahead and cast Detect Magic, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. And just because I haven't had a chance to, I'm totally rolling a Wild Surge. No.
Oh my god.
No. Well, no. I mean, I rolling to see if it gets a Wild Surge, and no, it didn't.
Oh, thank God.
Wild Surge on Detect Magic.
There's only a 1 in 20 chance that any normal spell she casts does have a Wild Surge, so just FYI. Now, you can use Nahal's Reckless Duomer to try and shape an Identify spell without the Pearl component.
Yes, let's do it.
Oh, yes!
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Take cover, everybody.
I'm gonna step outside the inn. when she does
Suddenly, you have to bring the elf back to the temple.
It's gonna be another 7 charges. All right, let's see.
I think they refused at that point.
So you're level 2 now. So you have a 20% chance. So I'm going to assume that you've taken the time to, cleanse the items. The Detect Magic did reveal that the Warhammer, the shield, and the two-handed sword were all magical.
Yay.
Okay.
And let's see. So we're looking at 9. Well, that magic, that Detect Magic, to a certain extent, was not all that useful of a spell because, every single magic item that you are in possession of is going to glow for many, many days.
Does that mean they should light?
Every single magic item
Don't need touches.
that is within 60 feet of you at the time of casting, so that means every single magic item that your entire party has is now glowing. It's not bright.
Braxon didn't leave.
It's not like a well, I mean, this is at the inn, so
I said I evacuated the inn. Just
Yeah, but
Pretty
there's
sure
a-
a great big target on us for thieves.
now they're not glowing brightly. I mean, it's not like torchlight or even fairy fire light, but it is glowing enough, since it doesn't say exactly how brightly it is.
Does this affect people in other rooms in the inn?
Yes.
Then?
Yes, and I'm not gonna figure out what that is, but you do hear throughout the inn a couple curses and some I mean, as you are down in the
Can Lafdul make an intellect check to see if he clicks onto this and that he's going to start thieving things? He just might click on.
I start
no,
to
I mean,
whistle
does
walk back in.
you don't need to make a check for that. If you think that I mean, if you want Lafdul to start trying to thieve some glowing things, sure.
Yeah, he clicks. He obviously realizes the downside to this, and suddenly realizes that he's also a thief. It's like, oh, actually, this isn't such a bad thing.
So let me see.
Or walk while whistling.
All of the now the scrolls are glowing, but they're inside scroll cases, so they're not revealed. That wand that you picked up is glowing. One of those silver brooches that you had is glowing.
Oh,
That you never sold. You never did anything. That you were thinking about selling.
Oh.
no, we never saw it because we didn't know if they were magical.
It is so you had two silver ones. One that had small emeralds. That one is glowing. The other one is not. You have a silver ring, which is not glowing.
So I tell the people that we should sell the stuff that's shown itself as being non-magical.
Yeah.
Stuff like that could also be enchantments of good quality.
Yeldin has three arrows, 3 sheath arrows that are glowing.
Way.
That rope that you picked up, that I mean, you know is magical, is glowing. There is a
Why
plain
are my
gold
arrows
ring
glowing?
that is glowing.
Gold
What
ring.
ring?
I don't know where you guys have them, but you have them somewhere. Because I've been making
Yeah,
notes
we have
of
it.
the stuff that
Yeah.
you guys have not identified, and I would have taken this off if you had sold it. There was that amulet that was a yellowed ivory oval with 2 black eye holes on a silver chain. That is glowing.
Yeah.
And of course the two-handed sword, the warhammer, the shield. Those are all glowing.
So many magical items. So little
Why
identify.
is 3 of my arrows glowing?
They're magical.
So is that
Where did we pick up magical
You did.
arrows?
You definitely picked them up. I remember you picking
Yep.
them up.
You picked up there were in that room that was full of junk, and you scoured the room and got got a bunch of coins. There were 3 arrows in there. I specifically mentioned it, and you said, "Yeah, I'm taking them."
I didn't realize
Yeah.
they're magical.
Yep.
No wonder 3 of them survived.
is that can I say, are all these items affected by me casting this detect magic, or
Nope.
by trying to identify this?
By trying to cast Identify, you used Nahal's Reckless Dweomer, and it wild surged.
Okay.
It did not identify anything. Instead, all magical items within 60 feet of you started glowing.
Well, it sort of did identify things because it of the things we didn't know were magical are magic now.
My character's going to walk outside the room and start eyeing up things.
Write down the
That is
thing necessary
amazing.
separately.
Well, how long will they glow? Did you say?
Well, you don't actually know this. I'm perfectly fine to say 11 days.
Yes.
some people are going to be really frustrated by that.
The great thing is,
And
When
some people are
we-
going to be
when
very
we-
surprised, too. Go ahead.
yeah, the great thing is if we go down into the Underdark, we won't have trouble finding the rope back up.
Truth. So,
Yeah.
the Electrum Skull case wasn't magical.
The scroll cases themselves are not. No.
Okay.
Scroll
I
cases
think it's-
usually are not. And at this
I
point,
think
you would have
it's
found out if
also-
they were, because if they're magical, that usually means that they're trapped.
I think we should figure out that rope. Maybe have a quick trip down there to get it, because
Oh, I assume you, you
magical
took
in a
it back.
way.
Yeah, we took them up. We grabbed.
Yeah,
I
we would've
assumed we
took them
grabbed
up.
them on the way
Yeah.
back.
I
You
think we
would've-
should try. We should go through the trouble and have it identified, because it might actually help us against this whatever it's called down there.
Well, I thought that's what you were going to do before you made everything glow.
It's not.
Well, it's
yeah.
close now.
I mean, you can keep trying Nahal's Reckless Duomer, but keep in mind that there is a chance that you can drain magic from items. That you can cast a fireball or a lightning bolt, things like that.
So I turn around to the others and I say, would it be okay if I do try and identify this rope? Because I think it might help us in our fight against that monster down there.
Question, Leva. I don't know much about magical stuff. It tends to kind of slip through me. But how many things can you hit?
What the heck was that sound?
What?
I have no idea.
Whatever. It's not going now. All right,
Okay.
go ahead.
Somebody
When
in
you do
fire.
cast a when you do cast a identify spell, how many items does it affect?
2 powers, isn't it?
So she's second level. I'll tell you this right now. She can. I mean, assume that she's conveying this to you. She has 10% chance per level to identify powers, and she can identify 1 power per level, and that's across multiple items. So, in other words, an item with 6 powers, she would need to cast 3 identify spells right now, assuming that she passed the 20% chance every time.
Cool. Okay.
Also that because I can actually identify without having to spend the money for pearl and whatever
Can
else
also kill the
needed.
party.
But the price I pay for that is that it's a possibility of well, there is a wild search every time I cast it. So I propose that I take the rope away to some place where there are no magical items within 60 feet, and you go out of the area, and I cast the spell to see whether I can identify the rope.
Is there a place on Brow where you can get 60 feet away from everyone? I suppose we
get
can go back
arson.
into the Brow.
You could go back
Isn't-
down underground, but you gotta cleanse the items first. Takes
Isn't
8
there
hours to
that
cleanse the
auditorium?
items.
Didn't we already do that? Because I cast the spell.
Yeah, but I mean, moving them would essentially decleanse them.
Oh.
It's more of a ritual than a one-time thing. It's not like you could cleanse it and then now I can identify this years later. No, I mean you have to prepare and then cast a spell. If you prepare it and then something comes up, you got to prepare it again.
So I turn around to the group and I describe the process. I say what we have to do, and I tell them that I'm prepared to take it down, let's say, to the altar that's being cleaned now.
It's not that deep.
Do you think that's not deep enough?
It's not deep enough.
All right. Let's deep enough that there are no magical items within 60 feet, and you go away. And I do this if you want me to. So if something
Figure out the
really bad
forest area.
happens, if something really bad happens, then I'm the only one affected.
Hang on a minute. Do we need to go 60 feet away or just not have magic items with us?
Well, yeah, but the worry is having this affect other people as well.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a big green area around that arena of how you pronounce that, Fron? Front. There's a big green area around there. Surely that's enough that you can get away from people for about 60 feet.
I don't know.
Yeah, but the question is whether you'd be allowed to go there and... I mean, you'd have to go there, cleanse the item there, so you'd have to be there for 8 hours and then cast a spell. The guard's gonna rouse you and say, move along, no loitering.
Yeah.
You know
Could
what?
try
If we're in-
passing us as guards in disguise.
You know
Oh
what?
my
If
God.
we're in the Underbral, and we go down as far as we can safely go down, and we defend you for 8 hours, and something happens that leaks up to the surface, will anyone know it was us?
No, but I don't want to inconvenience too many people.
trying
Imagine
to-
we...
And I don't want you to fireball yourself
Or lightning bolt yourself.
or lightning bolt
Yeah.
yourself. That'd be
Or have
I
a heavy
mean-
object appear above your head that falls, causing 2d20 points of damage.
Well, what I would propose is actually that on the way down, we make a stopover at some safe place, and I prepare the item or items, and then you go away. When I'm ready to cast a spell, you go away for
Yeah.
however way, and I cast a spell, and then we have whether it worked or not.
The only thing is you're going to lose a spell doing that you might want to use stopping the enemy from killing us.
I'm assuming this is on one of the days that
No,
in
not on the
between.
Retrostormer. Well, it's...
Yeah, I mean we could go down, do that, and then come back up. But it's a cool glowing rope, you know.
Yeah.
I just
rope
took it
that you
thinking
can
it was a cool
command.
rope. Yeah, maybe.
It's not
it'll do.
it's not an endless rope because there's no pouch at one end.
I reckon it's a rope
I
that you
leave it
can
up to
command
you.
a word. That does
Old,
something.
maybe. Well, since you know the spell much better than I do, how many chances are there in the Wild Surge and the Duamut to actually get the spell?
So...
Just- 1 or 2 out of 100?
No, you have so another with Nahal's Reckless Dweomer, normally the spell you add your level, which means that basically there's always your level chances of getting the proper spell. I've decided to increase that, so you also do half your wisdom. So right now there's 9 guaranteed chances that the spell will function normally. In addition, there are a number of effects in the Wild Surge results, like spell appears to fail when cast, but occurs 1 to 4 rounds later. So that would be a success.
Okay.
There's also like spell effectiveness, range, duration, area of effect, damage, etc. increases 200%. So again, there's a chance for it to work.
How would that work with an identify spell?
It'd be 40%.
Yeah. So basically, I can't give you an exact number, but it's somewhere between like 11 and 15 chances that it would work.
Okay.
Of 100.
Can you tell me how you would resolve a situation where, for example, target falls in love with the caster? How you would resolve that with an inanimate target?
Like Dwarf Fortress, you know. You fall in
the
love with the
rope,
object.
the rope falls in love with me, or some stupid something.
Yeah,
like that.
if it's an inanimate object that has no life, then it just nothing happens. You know,
Okay.
that effect stands, but since that can't have an effect, the spell just fizzles.
And what would you do with something like target changes sex?
Again, same thing. A rope has no sex, so it just fizzles.
And yeah, okay, we go.
It'd swap the weave over.
The sort of 100 possibilities. There are just quite a few with where the target ends up having some neutral or bad changes. And I wouldn't want the rope, for example, to turn into a, I don't know, a leaf, big leaf.
Yeah.
You know what? Liver, I
Yep.
took this rope thinking it was a rope. Okay? If you want to find out what this rope does, and if there's a risk the rope bursts into flame and disappears, I'll take the risk. If you think it's worth looking at this rope. Yeah? If you can make this rope do something amazing for me, that's great.
Well,
The only thing I was worried about is if we go down and you burn up your spell, working out what this rope is, and we find that it doesn't help us massively to attack this creature, and then you've got less spells, would we be more at risk? But if we're not going all the way down, then that's fine. I'd be happy to go down there.
Well, for one thing, I'd use a spell that I always only use at the end if it's absolutely necessary, because those wild searches can have bad consequences. But I actually think almost every magic item is worth being identified. But you only know whether it's actually worth it or not. Once you know what it does or what it doesn't do, then you know it was it worth it or not. So I'm prepared to do it if you think if you also think it might be worth it.
Well, if you want to go down there and identify it, and then we come out, or we're going to rest so that you've got your spells back, then I don't have a problem.
All I have to say, of course, it's worth identifying things because it could be freaking cursed.
Just FYI, right now, Leva has one spell remaining. I am perfectly fine assuming that she has decided to get a second Nahal's Reckless Dweomer, in addition to the one that she cast and the Detect Magic that she cast before that. So, you could rest again. I am, again, perfectly happy to treat this as during the 3 days. She was the first one resurrected, so she is good to go. Chances are Yeldin and Lafdul are still, one of them might not have been resurrected just yet, that kind of thing. But
let's do it then. Me and Higgimus can go down with Liver and stand guard while she's cleansing the item, and then back off when she tells us to back off. And and if Lever's got any magical items, we can take them with us.
Braxon, I'll hand them my 3 arrows that turned out to be magical.
Well, yeah. First of all, keep in mind that if she gets one of the effect, first of all, she can identify 2 powers. It's possible that the rope has 2 powers. It's possible that it has more, but it might only have 1. If you don't want this to be a waste, you should give her some other things to identify as well, because there's also a chance that she gets one of the effects that allows her to identify more things.
Yeah, so I'll give her my 3 arrows, and I guess my armor too, since it's magical.
Also, remember, I gave you a potion of wizardry.
You do, however, have to know that one of the risks is that I drain the spell drains the magical item. I think that's one of them, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Well, that happens, that sucks, but otherwise...
All right, let's do it then.
Okay.
Right, I think Ash was trying to say something.
Oh, I was getting ready to say I'll take my new sword, but then I was like, I need to ask first. Braxon, you okay with me taking possession of the two-handed sword?
I'm okay, yeah.
All right, cool.
All right. So, all right. Well, we'll cross the bridge when we come to it if she can identify more powers. All right. So let's go ahead and see what the results are.
What are we going to give Liver apart from the rope? Is it just the arrows?
All of the magic items, just to be sure.
You wouldn't want to give all the arrows, just give her like 1 arrow. Because they're all in the same batch, assuming they'd have the same effect.
Assuming
is that an assumption you
makes
want
an
to
ass
make?
out of you and me.
Maybe.
All right, let's see. Okay, you cast your Nahal's Reckless Dweomer, and You've got the rope in front of you, and to your great surprise, the spell actually does appear to have taken effect. You managed to shape the magic and get the proper results. It doesn't feel quite right, but it seems good enough. So you want to try to identify the rope, and let's see, what are we going to get out of that?
Did you actually know what the rope was?
I do. I just need to look up exactly what it.
You have
It
to
Doesn't
keep track
seem
of all the
quite
things.
Right.
Do-do-do.
Wasn't actually expecting it to pass.
Doesn't feel right.
Doesn't
It's
seem
not that
quite
good.
right.
Okay, and you are able to figure out that this rope is clearly designed. The magic infusing it is clearly designed to aid in climbing. However, you realize that you need to tell the rope to do so. And with that, the spell ends.
Okay.
Oh, so she only got one use out of
Yep.
it.
Braxon, here is your rope. It's meant for climbing, but you have to talk to the rope. You have to tell it to help in
I'm
climbing.
sure that basically there's a command word.
I don't
Just
know
so-
that. I only tell Braxon what I know, and that
Okay.
is that this is a rope that helps you in climbing, and but you have to tell it that to help you.
Hello, rope.
Oh God. Are you
Is
sure
there
it's
a-
not
Is there anything overhead? Like a beam?
Let's see. I'm going to assume that you went down to the area where you encountered Ragak the first time. So, no, there's no beams, but we'll just say that you're in the open area, right outside of where you, incinerated all of the spiders.
Okay, I'm gonna throw the rope up in there and say, go up to the ceiling so I can climb you. See if it goes up or just drops on me.
All right. It takes the ceiling is about 20 feet up, so it takes about 2 rounds to actually get up to the ceiling, and it very briefly pokes around and then seems to find a hole up there, just some loot, a hole in the ceiling where a stone has fallen in or something like that, and it snakes in there, and it's secure.
I'm gonna try my weight on it and then climb up.
Okay, you easily climb up to the top. You have no trouble getting all the way up to the ceiling.
I'm gonna climb back down again
Alright.
and say, release your hold on the ceiling so that I can coil you up.
It drops down.
You should try and have Higgimus tested.
that was Higgimus?
No, that was Braxon.
It's about
Oh.
Braxon.
All right. Rope, go back up there so that I can climb on you.
All right, it does the exact same thing again, and surprisingly, you have little trouble climbing up as well.
I thought you
Does
were
he
going to
spell
say, and it
resistance?
breaks.
It's clearly
Does-
able to support your weight.
Okay.
Does Higgimus'
That's
spell resistance
quite
stop
nice.
him using it?
That's quite handy.
All right, I'll
Mhm.
drop down and say, all right, come down so we can coil you up.
And it drops down and coils up for you.
Out of character, you might want to keep that information hidden from Lafdul.
Isn't he here with us?
No, I'm unconscious or dead or something, or resting.
Only Higgimus, Braxon, and you, Leva, went down there.
Okay. So, do you want me to identify more things? Then I have to rest first.
If you wanted to say that you came down here with a full roster of Nahal's Reckless Geomers, I am fine with that.
Oh,
And then
okay.
you'd have 2 left.
I have 2 left.
Oh,
We
boy.
have a ring,
A
a
brooch.
brooch, and a necklace.
I gave you my magical arrows that I found and my armor as well.
I think the arrows are probably most important at the moment. I
Yeah,
might be wrong, but
well, they're weapons, so they're most
yes.
likely to help.
I got I got a question. If she drinks the potion of wizardry, what would happen to the spell?
She gains 3 levels effectively. So she would have a 50% chance with all of her identify rolls rather than 20. She would gain 7 plus 5 rather than 7 plus 2. But then, of course, you should have 3 more chances of getting a proper result out of the Nahal's Reckless Dweomer. But of course, you would be using up the potion.
Do you want to use the potion, Leva?
I don't have it.
Xanfyr
Xanfyr
gave
gave it to us, so
Yeah. I most likely have not put it into the group loot yet.
She's the only one who can use it anyway.
Xanfyr had the potion of wizardry, didn't he?
Yeah, but he gave it to the party.
Oh, okay. I certainly didn't. I missed that, so I certainly didn't take it with.
But he gave it to the party. You're the only one who can use it. I'm fine with you having it with you if you want to use it. I mean, you don't have to. You can wait for a time when you think it would be better.
potions are meant to be used is all I have to say.
Ah, but they're too
Yeah.
good to use.
It's like the elixirs
I
of
have,
fantasy.
I'm doing the same thing with the other game I'm playing. I always end up with bags full of potions because
Yeah.
there's always
We're all the same,
another
Mark.
situation where they're better. So I put it to the party. You to the company present. Do you want me to use the potion and identify the other stuff that you bought?
You know what? Let's go ahead and use it, I think. That's my vote.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Go ahead and use it. That's my vote.
Okay.
You either
Only
use
two
it now or
people
use
there to ask, so
So I use it.
Okay.
And give me the other stuff that you want to have identified.
All right. You feel as you drink the potion, you can feel your knowledge of your knowledge of magic. Things make more sense now than they ever have before, and you feel that your magic will be much more effective now.
Ooh, nice.
So this is going to be 13.
The knowledge of the universe has been packed into your head.
Oh God. What
The
time?
universe rejects you.
All right, you're now in pitch darkness. Braxon and Higgimus can't see anything unless they. Well, I assume they did bring their lanterns, but this globe of magical darkness that now envelops you all blocks out the light from the lanterns. However, the Leva you can still see with your infravision.
Okay.
Leva, can you still hear us?
Yes.
Can you see okay?
Well, I can see with infravision. Yes.
Okay. So we shouldn't be worried yet.
You should actually be outside in case I produce a fireball.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, we were going 60 foot away, weren't we?
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the two of you see a sudden globe of pure darkness appear that your lanterns cannot pierce around her.
I'm still alive.
You still alive, Leva?
Yep.
Okay.
Don't
All
come
right.
closer. Don't come closer. It's just an area of darkness. I can still see.
You want
Oh, like we encountered before.
Yes.
Well,
So-
I was yelling at her.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
All right.
So-
Last one, I guess.
I'll have another one. I
Yep.
have one more spell. I use that.
All right. Let's see. Actually, I think I might have chosen the wrong one. Yeah, actually, I did choose the wrong one. Ah, whatever. It's fine. Wouldn't have been any good anyway. colorful cloth strips and paper strips shoot forth from your fingers. It's difficult to tell that they're actually colored with just infravision, but yeah. So no further identification.
What was that? Pieces of cloth?
Yeah, colored streamers.
Okay.
Round thing in it.
So that was it. I
Yep.
take it the potion doesn't survive a period of rest, correct?
No, I don't think so. The Spelljammer one does, but not this. It would go for a number of hours, but
Okay. So I walk out, I take the items, I walk out of the area of darkness, and I plod over to the others, and I say, I'm sorry. That was one success.
It's all right.
That's-
I guess it
Trying
can't be
to
easy
find-
dealing with the
I'm trying
Winds
to
of
find
chaos.
something.
I didn't hear a word, sorry.
I said, I guess it can't be easy dealing with the winds of chaos or whatever it is that you do.
Ah, but it's great fun. It can be great fun.
all right. Well, it's past 4 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and call the session here. When we come back next time, we'll have James with a new character, and we'll.
Well, actually, I'm at a convention next weekend.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I did forget about that. Okay. In that case, James will be his new character will be showing up later on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
So you'll just be down one person, and actually, that's kind of convenient. You know, if he's Xanfyr's out of the picture anyway.
Yep.
yeah.
All right.
Hope things go well.
All right. Well, I want to
boy.
thank you guys for playing. I had a lot of fun, especially with that, that
Fireball.
near-death experience that you all had. Or
Oh,
Thanks for
yeah.
the game.
that's not exactly a near-death experience for some of you, is it?
It's an actual
Oh,
death
yeah.
experience.
There was one
I met my maker.
I guess
Thanks for the game.
that was there was
Thanks.
one thing that I did mention in Discord, but I guess didn't get to happen. Oh well.
You can talk to me afterwards. I mean, if
Okay.
that's fine.
Thanks for rolling for me. And if anyone's in the UK near London, you're welcome to come tomorrow to the birthday party for the Piazza. And if you have Piazza accounts, there might be free user titles going.
All right. Well, yeah.
I'm
Keep that in
actually only
mind.
2 hours away from you.
Do we get some more experience for what we did just now?
Yes. Well.
We can get that later.
Yeah.
That too.
We can get that next week, can't we?
Yeah.
If
I'll hand it out in between episodes or something, in between sessions. But yes, I want to thank you guys for playing, and thank you all out there in Twitch land for coming out to watch. See you next time.
Yeah.
Great fun. Really great fun.
Indeed.
Phew.